This week's parasha is Parashat Vayigash, and this week's parasha, there's so many stories of feelings that come out between Yosef and his brothers, between Yaakov and Yosef. Rabbi Sedakah, Husein, the great rabbi from Hala from the 1700s, on the first pasuk tells us, Vayigash elav Yehuda, Yehuda came at Yosef ready for war. And he says, Ki kamocha ke Paro, you're just like Paro. Rabbi Sedakah Husein explains those words. What does that mean? You're just like Paro. The Gemara tells us in Baba Batra that a halacha, that if I have a Bet Knesset and I want to build a new one, you can't take down the old Bet Knesset until the new one is built. So the Gemara asks, how was Baba ben Buta able to advise Hurdus, King Herod, that he could take down the Bet HaMikdash to rebuild it in its beauty? The Gemara tells us because a king is different. The Lohad Rabbe, a king does not retract his words. If a king says to that mountain, I'm going to take that mountain down, he will take that mountain down. He won't retract his words. So Yehuda was telling Yosef, Paro is the king, but you're kamocha ke Paro, you're just like Paro. That you can't retract your words. So when you told us to bring down Binyamin to Mitzrayim, you just want to put your eyes on him. You can't take him now and be a slave. And I'm the same. My father Yaakov is a king. And I'm second to the king. And when I told my father I'm going to bring Binyamin back, I'm going to bring him back. Whether it means for me to destroy Mitzrayim, to kill you, Yosef, and to kill Paro, I'll do it all. Yehuda stood firm for his determination to protect his brother. And when Yehuda told his father, I guarantee it with myself in this world and in the next, Yaakov accepted, and Yehuda was determined to the end. He was sure to himself, Rabbi Sedakah Husein, that he would accomplish this no matter what came his way. That was the love and the determination and the responsibility that Yehuda took for his brother Binyamin. And Rabbi Yehuda, Cohen from Damascus, tells us in this week's parasha as well. Yosef tells his brothers, Ani Yosef, ha'od avi hai, I am Yosef, is our father still alive? The brothers were afraid, they stepped back. And she tells us they were afraid. They don't know what Yosef's going to do to them. And Yosef says, no, come close. Ani Yosef achichem, I'm Yosef, your brother. He asks, what did he add? He saw his brothers were afraid. What are you adding? You just said you're Yosef. And Yosef again, what are you going to say now? What did you say differently that made them feel better? They were frightened. And Rabbi Yehuda Cohen tells us that when Yosef said, Ani Yosef, I am Yosef, the brothers understood it. Like when Yaakov met Esav, he prayed to Hashem, Hatzileni na, protect me, miyad Achim, miyad Esav, from my brother and from Esav. He's coming at me in two ways, but in two ways that are not safe for me. Even if he shows himself like his brother, but I'm not really his brother in a way of love. It's a trick. So when Yosef says, Ani Yosef, they didn't hear the words, I'm Yosef, your brother. They thought maybe he's just saying, I'm Yosef, without any love. They were scared, they stepped back. And he says, no, I guarantee you, Ani Yosef achichem. I am Yosef, your brother. I love you like I loved you before. This is all 100% net love. That's what Yosef guaranteed the brothers, and he made them comfortable with that. And Attie tells us in this week's parasha as well. Yaakov meets Yosef for the first time. He hasn't seen him for so many years. Yosef hugs his father and he kisses him. But what is Yaakov doing? Our rabbis tell us he was saying Kiryat Shema. Attie says, now's the time to say Kiryat Shema. You haven't seen your son for so many years. And Yaakov understood. Says in Kiryat Shema, V'aftat Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavecha b'chol nafshecha. My love for Hashem is over and above everything. So his whole life he had always a problem. Where can anybody, or when can anybody ever think that there's a love that's greater than a person's love for Hashem? When Yaakov came to that moment that he hasn't seen his son for so many years, he was afraid that his love for his son was so great that it would overcome the love that he's supposed to show even greater to Hashem. Right there and then he said, I'm going to say Kiryat Shema. and take all that powerful love that I have now and send it right to Kiryat Shema, Ve'aftat Hashem Elokecha, show my love for Hashem. He says another understanding as well. Yaakov is afraid that that moment of shock of seeing his son from so many years, he might pass away. So he wanted to make sure at that moment that if Has v'Shalom, he dies from shock, he said his last words of Kiryat Shema while he passes away. Unbelievable parashah of feelings of love between brothers, of Yosef showing the love for the brothers, of Yehuda standing up for Binyamin, of Yaakov's outpouring love for Yosef and still channeling it to Hashem. It's an unbelievable parashah. We should all have a beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.